Julian, how you feeling, buddy? What's going on?
Feeling good. How you guys doing?
We're good.
Awesome.
How satisfying was it to get off the little slide that you guys were on and get a big win on the road, really the first division win on the road? How satisfying was that for you guys?
Oh, that was huge. Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's first division game, road game. December football when it means a lot. I mean, yeah, it was a great feeling in that locker room.
Yeah, it felt like the details were really buttoned up from offensively but particularly defensively from your side of the ball. Because you guys gave up 12 points. Washington got in position a couple of times, but you always came up with the big play. That last drive where they're trying to sneak in and everything is going right. I've seen some of the social media highlights of what was going on the sideline. Saquon screaming at you guys, get the job done. Your coaches are screaming at you guys. Tell us about the intensity of that moment, because it was the biggest part of the game.
Yeah, the juice was flowing. Everybody was pretty fired up. Everybody was supporting each other. Like you saw some guys like Saquon kind of going up and down, just encouraging guys. And yeah, I mean, it was electric. And that drive, I think, started off maybe the second or third play was a big play that got him into down to like the 20 or so. And then, Thibodeau made a big stop on like the 1 when the QB was trying to scramble. And, yeah, it was just a culmination of a lot of guys just stepping up and making plays.
You've been around a couple of years now, obviously, Julian, and, you're a young vet, but you're a respected vet, and you get the business of the sport. You understand, how young kids might take a little while to transition to fulfill draft status or expectations. You just mentioned Kayvon. I mean, Kayvon, first of all, the NFC Defensive Player of the Week, by the way. And the play that he made, I mean, first of all, you saw the whole package, the speed, the athleticism, the leverage. I mean, just crazy, crazy play. How good can he be? Because there's been a lot of things that don't show up in the stat column that we recognize, certainly Tiki, who played. Maybe the average fan doesn't. He's been close for a while. Can he be a great player?
Yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head. He has been close, and, people look at the stats and all that stuff, but, I mean, the dude is hitting the quarterback, so much, more than any other young player I've ever seen. And so he's really perfecting his craft. And before that Sunday night game, he had that look in his eyes. He was in the zone, and he broke down the team before the game. He stepped up and did that.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah, but the passion was with him. And, Sunday Night Football brings out the best in a lot of people. And I think now we know what what a good day for him is. We know what the bar is for him. And so I think he's just going to grow from here. I think he has a chance to be great, for real.
Yeah, that adds another level of expectation on his plate, because to be great, you got to give that same effort every single afternoon. Now, so what did he say? He breaks down the team. He doesn't usually do that. What did he say to you guys?
I mean, I don't know what words he was saying, but he was passionate. So he was, he was yelling, he was fired up. Sunday Night Football, big stage, must win, all the buzzwords basically. But just that alone, like the passion that's shown, the same guys usually do it. The same guys are fired up, have to lead, but to have a young guy step up and everyone just like accepted it. It's weird, you could see that as being weird for a rookie to do that.
Yeah.
But I think that's just how, ready for the moment he was.
I was going to say, I want to follow up on that, because it's usually a vet who's doing. Remember, we've seen Drew Brees over the years doing that, breaking down when he was still playing with the Saints, and that was always a viral thing. So he just. I'm not saying you actually request permission to do that, but he just basically stepped to the middle and said, let's go. And he just started woofing and going nuts. Like with that's a pretty ballsy move for a rookie. I like it.
I know. And so I was a little taken aback at first. I'm like, oh, okay, because usually, either it's Xavier McKinney, it's Leo, it's Dex, it's Saquon, and, it's the leaders on the team typically that do that. And he was waiting for us in the middle. He was ready to go. And everybody, I think, was vibing with it and knew that it meant a lot to him.
Let the big dog eat. Let's go. Julian Love with us here on the Fan Tiki and Tierney Show.
All right, so we talked about the de facto playoffs last week. You had to win against Washington. It doesn't get any easier going to Minnesota this weekend. How do you guys even start to think about containing Justin Jefferson? I mean, his statistics are ridiculous. The 98 yards a game, which is the most in NFL history. Like, that something big is going to happen, but how do you wrap your head around slowing down at least what he does?
I mean, he's just a guy you have to be aware of every play in the game. I mean, he's playing at truly an MVP level right now.
Yeah.
I know receivers don't get that credit as much, but he's having a crazy season. And he's a stud in every facet, really, of being a receiver. And, yeah, you got to account for him. And, yeah, we have some good stuff lined up for him. And but he's a game breaker right now. And so dealing with him as well as their other skill players is going to be a challenge.
How much do you look at, we've got 80% chance playoffs, 90. I mean, how deep in the weeds do you guys get on that, honestly, at this point?
I mentioned it before. Some guys have to have short-term focus. Some guys have to see the big picture. I know the chances jumped. We're not oblivious to that. We know that our percentages and all that stuff, all the analytics, all that stuff jumped up. Mm-hmm. But we still have some stuff to get. It's not given right now. And so Dave's kind of hit it perfectly before this past game. He said that this game, everybody's going to make it seem like it's a playoff game. It's, do or die, all that stuff. But if we were to lose that game, it doesn't mean we weren't going to be in the playoffs still. Mm-hmm. We still had a shot. And even if we won, like it's not guaranteed right now.
I got you.
And so it's like there's some stuff out there that we got to secure still. And so it starts this week against a hostile Minnesota environment.
I love it. We're talking to, of course, Julian Love with us here on the Fan Tiki and Tierney Show. Tiki, I know you got a question. Just want to let everybody know. So, because I teased this earlier in the show, and the Yankees just got back to us. Carlos Rodon will join us right around 10 minutes from now, which is going to be awesome. So, by the way, you a Yankee or a Met guy, Julian? Let's get this on the record, dude.
Oh.
Who's your team?
Let's get this on the record.
Yep.
I would say I do lean more towards Yankees.
There we go. Attaboy.
Yeah, I do lean more towards Yankees. Obviously, the Mets have some young studs as well. But, I'm from Chicago. I kind of grew up in a good era with the Cubs in 16, White Sox pretty much my whole life. And so now I kind of adopted some roots out here in New York.
Yeah, it's easy. Okay. It gets really easy, especially if you meet some of those guys. Xavier McKinney, I know we keep hearing that maybe he's going to be back. You got any updates, any idea of when he could be available? Because you need some reinforcements, I believe, in the secondary. He'd be a huge one, especially going down the stretch.
Yeah, he'll come back. I'm not sure what his timeline is exactly, but his work is ramping up right now. He is running, doing some DB stuff, getting active. Him and Adoree have been ramping up. But it's one of those things that you can't rush it. You can't to fulfill a short-term goal. Ruin their long-term situation. And so I think they're going to do the right thing, but they're getting closer. They're ramping up.
Okay. So listen, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas. And before we let you go, little Julian's banging down the stairs at his childhood home, and he comes down. Best Christmas present Santa ever brought you. What was it when you were a kid?
Best Christmas present?
Yeah, when you were young.
Man.
When you were young.
There's two. When I was maybe, 6 or 7, my dad got me a custom Louisville Slugger wood baseball bat.
Nice.
Still have it to this day.
Oh, wow. Did you want to be a baseball player?
I grew up playing baseball, yeah.
Yeah.
It was wood or metal? If it's custom, I'm guessing it's wood.
It was wood, yeah.
Oh, your pops is a rock star. All right, what was the other
wood,
one?
Yeah. Way too heavy for me at that age, but
exactly.
I grew into it.
Yeah.
And then, I'm a big video game guy, so I remember I got like a Xbox 360 when I was, like 11 or 12 or something, and I was so excited about that.
All right, man. Now you can play yourself on video games. Pretty good life, huh, Julian?
Hey, I'm grateful for sure.
Yeah, you should be, man. Thanks a lot, brother. Appreciate it.
Merry Christmas, man. Happy holidays,
All right,
Julian.
y'all. Happy holidays.